As the state's treasurer begins looking into Detroit's financial crisis, several people are making a final push to revoke the emergency manager law. Fox News' Taryn Asher was at a rally tonight. Taryn, how was the turnout?
Well, you know, not that large, but it doesn't change the fact that these people are fighting mad. You know, it's no secret Detroit's $45 million in debt, running out of money by the day. But the group inside here tonight still feels that a state takeover is not the answer.
This room should have been packed, overflowing with people from wall to wall.
It wasn't the largest of crowds inside Detroit's Fellowship Chapel, but the message at the Stop the Takeover rally was loud and clear.
I come here today to tell you I don't want this for Detroit. I have 59,000 people that I serve with no voice and no rights.
That from a Pontiac City Council member who has firsthand experience when it comes to an emergency manager. So does Myoa Lisa Reynolds, who feels everything is on the line.
I resigned from Detroit Public Schools after 13 years of service because I refused to work under the tyranny of an emergency manager, because emergency managers don't consider the whole picture. It's a business.
Michigan Force, the Detroit branch of the NAACP and AFSCME Council 25, which organized the rally, wants to solve the city's financial woes, but doesn't feel a consent agreement that would give the mayor more power to cut the budget or a state takeover are the answers. Theirs is simple.
The very people who are trying to correct our stuff need to correct their own stuff. Send us the $220 million back through revenue sharing that Detroit is owed. Do an analysis of that. Fix this situation.
In the meantime, they are collecting thousands of signatures that could repeal the emergency manager law if the governor determines it's the only option.
We're 158,000 signatures in already. We got a goal, a minimum of 161,000, but Detroit has got to stand up today, and we are.
People have a right to a democracy. It'll stop this move.
We all have to do something because this is unconstitutional. It is unacceptable.
Right now, the U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder is looking into whether this emergency manager law is even constitutional. This comes from this all started because of Congressman John Conyers. He called for this review, and ultimately, he wants the government to block this law. Reporting live on the west side of Detroit, Taryn Asher, Fox 2 News.
Taryn, we're also hearing that there are several elected officials, including Councilman Gary Brown, who feel that it may be perhaps best to work out some sort of consent decree and to go ahead and cooperate the state. Did anybody talk about that tonight?
You know what, that really didn't come up. The consent agreement wasn't even on their minds. They really just want to keep all of it away from the city, and really, you know, they wanted that revenue that they were saying that the city of Detroit needs. They don't feel that a state takeover is an answer. They don't feel that a consent agreement is either, and they plan to continue to hold these rallies in the coming months, collect the rest of those signatures so they can ultimately freeze this law if it is enacted. Back to you.
All right, Taryn, thank you for that live report.